Hello, friends. I'm so glad to be here with you today. This last week has been a challenging one for me personally. I won't say stressful because my future self doesn't want to subscribe to that negative thought. My 90-year-old father was hospitalized for pneumonia, so I've been in Charlotte with my parents as he's recovered. Regardless of age, pneumonia can be serious, but at 90, it can be even scarier for both the patient and the caregivers. And it's funny how when you think you've got everything figured out and things are running smoothly, life will throw you a little curveball to get your attention. The road to any recovery can be long and hard, whether it's pneumonia, COVID, or recovering from a broken bone. So today's podcast, we're going to talk about our body's innate desire for balance and healing and our mind's desire to skip the hard parts and just get a quick fix.
Welcome to the official podcast of True Basis Health, where we focus on living a life that connects health and mindset for optimal well-being. In each episode, Micah Hill, certified total well-being coach and perfect health educator, will cover bite-sized topics ranging from transformational well-being practices to maximizing mindset and how to live a rewarding life full of purpose. Here's your hostess, Micah Hill.
Your body is a never-ending construction site. Each moment it is building, creating, removing, and repairing cells. And this activity is based on the food you eat, the activities you do, and the thoughts you think. I've been driving back and forth between my small town and Raleigh for years. For the last 20 years, there has been some form of construction or another along the interstate, and now it's extended to the road I use to connect to the interstate. Each time a section is completed, I'm grateful for the time savings it's afforded me. Then I reach another section under construction, along with all the inevitable delays, and I think to myself, when will this construction ever be complete? Just like road projects, some form of construction is always happening with our bodies and our minds. It's part of the growth process, and we are no exception. We want that quick fix when we're unwell or challenged by our health, weight, living situation, or whatever it might be. We want to get past the hard parts as quickly as possible. We don't want to wait. We want to snap our fingers and have everything be as we desire, like right now. The good news is the body wants the same thing. It's constantly working towards balance and equilibrium, and it's incredibly resilient. On the other hand, the mind can be a tough nut to crack because the mind finds security in sameness. Whether it's the body or the mind, all repairs and rebuilds take time. Some repairs and rebuilds are longer than others, but they are constantly happening. Regarding the body, studies have shown that even short-term intensive holistic programs, operative word intensive, and mind-body healing practices, operative term practices, can lead to significant progress and sustained increases in well-being. The key is consistency. Day by day, we need to add things that promote healing and remove the harmful things. Creating momentum is what we learn within the membership at True Basis Health, the clarity to move forward with consistency. It was just the beginning of the journey when my dad was released from the hospital. He was equipped with antibiotics and a breathing exercise device, but he still had a long way to go to repair his lungs and body. His doctor did a really good job of managing our expectations and told us it could take weeks to months due to his age. One thing I learned was bed rest results in significant skeletal muscle atrophy. And when I say bed rest, I'm not like talking weeks on end. Like he was in the hospital 2 days. And apparently this is even the case for elite athletes where each day on bed rest can take up to 3 days to repair. As such, physical therapy was recommended to help my dad regain his muscle. And I have to give a big shout out to Bart and Olga at Physical Therapy and Balance Center. They have just done an amazing job taking my dad under their wings. And one of the things that I noticed is when you surround yourself with a healing team and you give your body the necessary tools to speed up recovery, it's amazing the results that can happen. One day my dad was wobbling around and had to have help getting out of his chair, and the next he's on a supported lanyard walking over obstacles, building back his core strength, and all along the way we're there cheering him on the sidelines with the assurance that he's exactly where he needs to be in the recovery process. And what became crystal clear this week is that health isn't just an absence of illness or symptoms. It's about vitality. It's about well-being. It's about being self-sufficient. It's having the joy to appreciate life and the lightness of being to know everything will be all right. It will, with time, get better no matter how uncomfortable the current moment is. Every experience is here to teach us and help us grow. So, what causes us to get sick? Illness is caused by disruptions and flows to energy and information within our body. To get well, we need to restore the flow, and that is done through several practices. In the Restore Roadmap, a signature course offered through True Basis Health, we break down the basic pillars of health and the lifestyle approaches to improve physical and emotional well-being, all while reducing stress. And this is so important because get this, science shows that 90 to 95% of disease is preventable. Yep, 90 to 95% is preventable. To me, that is amazing. Understanding that disease as we know it is actually the final expression of toxic accumulations in the mind-body physiology allows us so many options to remedy the situation before actual disease manifests. And a lot of the work in the Clarity Club and the information I speak about in the Restore Roadmap and on this podcast actually has roots in Ayurveda. Having been certified by the Chopra Center as a perfect health educator and a meditation instructor, I've had the chance to see firsthand the significant impacts certain practices can have on well-being. And what surprises me is when I tell people about Ayurveda, they say, "What's that?" Or they just politely nod with a blank stare. And then I have to volunteer information. But since we're talking about preventing illness and fixing health today, and Ayurveda is all about prevention, I thought I'd share a little bit about Ayurveda. So next time you hear someone reference it, you'll be fully on board and hopefully you'll remember me. Until recently, conventional medicine assumed that disease is the same in all people. On the other hand, Ayurveda, which is one of the world's oldest holistic healing systems, places great importance on recognizing each person's unique qualities and experiences. So it's really highly personalized. Kind of like our fingerprints are unique. That extends down to every cell in our body. And Ayurveda is also very clear that our health is impacted by more than just our physical body. It addresses health from the standpoint of our environment, body, mind, and spirit. And I think of those Russian wood stacking dolls where there's a smaller one inside, and when you open one up and there's another one inside, and you just keep getting smaller and smaller until you get to the smallest doll in the center. And just like those stacking dolls getting smaller as they get closer to the center, the layers of life are like that. The environment down to our physical body, to our mind, until finally you reach that soul level in your being. And like little layers working inward, essentially everything impacts us, from the air we breathe, the food we eat, to our thoughts. And I love how things come together because just last week, I was talking about the places, spaces, and people that impact us and our extended body or our environment. And today it's like we're going a layer deeper into the layers of life and talking about the physical body. And when you look at the physical body, what's so amazing is it basically regenerates every 3 months. Greek philosopher Heraclitus once said, "No man ever steps into the same river twice, for it's not the same river and he's not the same man." So just as a river changes, so are you. Each moment, cells are dying off and new ones replace them. And over time, entire organs change out. The liver you have today is not the same liver you had as a teenager, especially if you're having a couple of glasses of wine every night. Anyway, just like our body, our mind and perceptions change. Every day, we have new experiences that shape us. And this is so powerful, knowing that everything is in a state of flux. What's even more empowering is knowing how to use that state of flux to our advantage. And I'll give you a hint, and we'll talk about this on a future episode, but one way to use it to our advantage is to embrace change. Anyway, getting back to the topic at hand, I want to address 2 points regarding fixing our health and getting beyond the quick fix mentality. Point 1, eliminate illness by treating the underlying cause. Things aren't always as they seem, and it might surprise you when you have a condition and get down to the root cause. For example, today, autoimmune conditions are on the rise. Ayurveda considers the root cause of autoimmunity to be a poor metabolism. Poor metabolism can be triggered by poor diet, digestion, and circulation. And when we have a poor diet and a weak agni, or digestion in Sanskrit, toxins build up in the system when our circulation is compromised. Then it's this vicious cycle of inflammation and pain. So in Ayurveda, certain foods are selected to treat the underlying cause, to stimulate digestion and promote the safe and gentle release of toxins. As this happens, inflammation is reduced and pain is decreased, and it goes beyond food. It's also essential to identify the role of stress, anxiety, and fatigue and how they impact inflammation, and then identify healing practices that can reduce the symptoms from the level of the mind. All of this is to say that when trying to get that quick fix, it means looking at lifestyle, activities, diet, recent stressful events, beliefs, your dosha, which is your mind-body type in Sanskrit, and then only then proceeding with treatment. And this can range from herbs to diet changes, exercise, meditation, psychotherapy, coaching. Ayurveda uses everything to help a person heal. I'm reminded of a story where a personal physician of Buddha was charged with finding stuff that could not be used medicinally. After he researched, he reported that he couldn't find a single substance that didn't have potential therapeutic value. When used appropriately and in moderation, everything can be healing, from plants to minerals, even going out and enjoying nature, the sun and the sand. Anybody want to go to the beach with me right now? It's just about having the wisdom to know what's right for you in the particular moment. In a Clarity Club video, I shared my challenge with a vitamin D deficiency a few years back and the recovery period. This last summer, I went for my annual physical, and my numbers came back all normal. The doctor asked if I was still taking a daily supplement, and I responded, nope. She asked, are you spending a lot of time outdoors? And I'm like, yeah, look at my tan. Plus, I spent 2 weeks juicing, and spinach has a ton of vitamin D. So really, everything can be used to heal you. Everything you do is an opportunity to practice the thought or mantra, I am building a new healthy body. And if you've had a tough day and want something that won't advance your health goals, consider asking yourself, is this food or activity promoting health or disease in my body? Because bringing awareness sometimes helps you make a better decision from the place of your higher self. And this leads me to point 2, the mind-body connection. For every event that occurs in the mind, there is a corresponding event in the body. Sages taught, if you want to know what your body will look like in 10 years, look at your thoughts today. Oops. How many of you are cringing right now? You can work out, you can eat right, and have all the best face creams in the world. But if your mind is spinning stories that aren't serving you, you'll have enough wrinkles to hold an 8-day rain. That's a Southern saying. So, what kind of thoughts are you having? What kind of thoughts do you want to be having? And do you know how to get there? The mindset work we do in the Clarity Club relieves present-day stress and helps increase longevity. I read an article about work-life balance, or as I like to say, life-work balance, on Inc., where they shared a 30-year study showing embracing an optimistic mindset is a major predictor of longevity. 11 to 15% longer lifespans, to be exact. What's so interesting is that 75% of it can be shaped and learned. Happy thoughts trigger good hormones, little hits of dopamine that makes us feel good, and they put us at ease. By contrast, when you're stressed out and overwhelmed, got a bunch of cortisol in your system, leads to inflammation and other issues in the body. And that's why it becomes so important to manage and reframe our thoughts. Dan Millman said, "You don't have to control your thoughts. You just have to stop letting them control you." Yes, that's my emphasis on how I interpret the quote. Stop letting your thoughts control you. Ayurveda is a great place for helping balance an imbalanced mind and creating a lifestyle that is kind, passionate, that's nurturing. And when you take time to build yourself up and focus on happy thoughts that trigger positive hormones, you can help overcome negative thoughts and feelings. This whole quick fix mentality, when your mind is telling you that you should be better now or you should have accomplished such and such by now, look at those thoughts. Anytime there is a should or a need to, there's probably some belief in there that needs deeper probing. I told a friend the other day that life is like a pendulum. I know I have a lot of life is like examples, but life is like a pendulum today. And it swings from one extreme to another. We have to know the bad to appreciate the good, but we don't need to get stuck there when it's terrible. The pendulum swings and it's gonna swing back. Just remind yourself of that. So many of us attempt to stay in neutral because we don't want to experience discomfort. Changes we can make to improve our well-being elude us because we run from that discomfort. Headache, digestive issues, skin irritations, pop a pill, right? But we never look at what caused the problem. We just want to get back to normal, even if it's not a sustainable normal, and we're just masking symptoms instead of addressing the root cause. All of us will have a time when our health is challenged. No, it's natural to seek a quick fix. But sometimes the quickest fixes come when we eliminate the illness by treating the underlying cause and we bring in the mind-body connection. Remember, slow and steady wins the race when it comes to healing. And each action we take is going to create momentum, just like in physical therapy. It may be hard getting up and moving at first, but when you do, each step becomes easier and easier. And this applies to the food you eat and the thoughts you have too. Keep working towards your goal because your brain and muscles begin to fire together each time you do something right, and they begin to solidify this new healthy identity. So until next time, I'm wishing you wellness and reminding you that your body can and will heal quickly if you provide the right tools and mindset. If you need help or guidance, reach out to me, and remember to give us a review for this podcast. This is Micah Hill signing out.
Thanks for listening to True Basis Health. Please post a review and subscribe to our channel. And as you move through your day today, remember, a clear mind is a powerful mind. So cultivate clarity with awareness. You've got this.